Yeah. Told the boys after the game, the best thing you can say after a game like this, that we played really good and there's so much space for improvement. Still, I think that's obvious as well. The goals were fantastic. The patience we showed, the fluidity in a lot of moments, not in all, but in a lot of moments. The creativity, the togetherness in how we connected with each other was really good. The goals we scored, I'm not sure, 70-something probably % possession, didn't look at it. But the first goal was a counter-attack, so really good. That's what I do. The third goal was a counter-attack as well, by the way. And the second goal was a wonderful team play. So, yeah, good, absolutely good. Game, and question will come anyway, so I can give the answer immediately. Game preparation was the most difficult I ever had in my life. Didn't expect that, was not prepared for it. And it was. I don't want to make the game bigger than it was, but it was definitely. We tried to help Lucho with the fight we put in, because obviously we want to help, we cannot really help, so the only thing we can do is fight for him, and that's what the boys did. We heard last night late about it. Then we spoke to Lucho, want to go home, send people with him, have people there who take care. There's parts of families there as well, so that's why they want to be together, absolutely understandable. Then we got the news with the mom, which is fantastic, and since then, nothing really. They all work and work on it, clearly, but it's quite some distance, and we are obviously not the first people who get informed, but we try to get knowledge of everything as much as we can. But we don't want to disturb in any way. We are not the important people there. We just want to support. That's it.
Sorry, Jürgen, just on that point, it was a lovely moment. Diego Jota came over and held up the shirt of police, and everybody would join in and remember and applaud.
Yeah. So how can you make a football game really important on a day like this? It's really difficult. I never struggled with that in my life. It was always my safe place, sometimes my hiding point as a player or as a coach. You are allowed during these 90 odd minutes to focus just on that. And it was impossible. It was absolutely impossible to do that. So it was clear we have to give the game an extra sense. And it was fighting for Lucho, and then the boys pulled out the shirt, and I was not 100% prepared for that, to be honest. It was really touching, but wonderful as well. So, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, you said at the start there's still room for improvement. You've only lost one game this season in 4 competitions, so where do you think this team still can improve?
So we had a lot of strange games, let me say it like this, where we 10-man, fight back, turn it around, these kind of things. Controlling a game was not that often necessary. So 2-0 up is a situation, and being actually completely dominant in a game, and then stay in the game, keep the ball moving, stay compact, don't give them any kind of counterattacks, corner kicks, and that's the moment. But you might remember it 3-4 years ago, I don't know exactly when, maybe longer, when we all of a sudden became slightly better, more dominant, and then were in the lead at home, we were leading, and then always came under pressure, like 1-0 up meant nothing. Everybody thought, oh my God, 1-0, 10 minutes to go. We were all halfway, saw the equalizer coming. And that's a situation you have to grow into, and the boys show obviously wonderful signs in all aspects, really. But that's now something we have to learn as well, again, because the key positions are obviously different position occupied by different players in that time, pretty much everywhere, up front, midfield, last line, yeah, if you want, is then Verge and Trent. And more, obviously, yeah. There's a three, and Ali. So 4 players and all the rest is around, is slightly different. So that's why space for improvement. Creating without losing the compactness is pretty much the idea behind. If you have to chase a game, it's obviously a completely different task. If it's an open game, different task. But if you are really in control, why should not stay in control? The last 5 minutes, I think, before half time, all of a sudden we were a bit too deep and they just could chip the balls there. 1-1 situation, we won the 1-1 situation, but it was anyway a corner or a throw-in, which is, by the way, pretty much the same for Nottingham. And these are moments where we have to improve, clear. And in creative things, you always can improve. That's always possible because the boys have obviously a lot of potential, so we have to use it fully.
Andy, last one.
I suppose like with this being involved in the goal, we get the headlines, but McAllister's performance today seems to be, obviously a lot has been said about him being in that number 6 role, but he seems to be getting more comfortable in there every week. His intelligence really stands out to us.
It's obviously not really a discussion we have, otherwise we wouldn't play him there, obviously. Yeah, but I think today everybody could see the benefit of a player who comes rather from the offensive side of the game than from the other side. In a game where you have to create things, where you have to pass, where you have to switch sides, and that's how it is then, because not all ball reach the target. So, but if you try something in tight spaces, that's completely normal. I have no problem at all with losing balls around the box, because that's where we should be then for counter press and these kind of things, so that can happen. I'm really pleased for him. And a lot of defensive top moments, really killed the counter, stuff like this was really there. He's good in these things. That's why we play him there. In 1-1 situation, really good. And we have to make sure as a team that the bases are really small in these moments. And we can do that with the 8s, with the wingers and the center strike as well. And we can do that with center halves to defend into midfield in these moments. So, and then we have just a really creative player in the center of the park together with Trent in some moments, obviously, which is helpful, very helpful.